Hey guys, I'm Kari. So, the balance patch is finally here. This one might change the meta quite a bit. Since it's right after SWC, I expected some big adjustments. And yeah, this feels like one of the biggest patches we've had recently. So, let's jump right into it. The monster that was strong in the current meta did get the expected adjustments. The one I personally wanted to see hit was Jogun. I also wanted Sarah to get something, but instead of her, come to snuff Gianna. Let's take a look at how things will change around here. First, Jogun. His attack bar boost went from 15% down to 10%. It's a 5% change, but it does affect how easy he can chain turns. Boosts the attack bar and then connects into the next unit, but in a turn 1 vs turn 1 matchup, that 5% impact seems like it would become pretty significant. It's similar to the nerf what the Twin Angel got earlier. But from a turn 2 point of view, honestly, this doesn't change much. So I'm not sure if his pick rate will actually go down. He did get nerfed, but personally, I wanted them to adjust his attack buff instead. Next, Oliver. He's been coming back into the meta, so I expected a nerf, and here it is. His skill 3 used to drop the enemy's attack bar to 0, but now it reduces it by 90%. I think this is a huge change. Before, he could open with the bar drop, skill 3, skill 2 loop. That connection won't work anymore. This 10% difference is actually massive, and removes those annoying back-to-back turns he used to take. Next, Light Farran. He was insanely strong in SWC. His damage scaling was reduced from 20% to 15%, and the max cap went from 200% to 150%. So the maximum is 50% lower. This will noticeably reduce his late game damage. The numbers look small, but the impact is big. Next, Gianna. Finally, this is the one I wanted. Her strip plus stun chance went from 85% to 75%, and 70% this misses quite often now, so I'm really happy about that. CP also got reduced to 75% because he was too strong. At 75%, enemy can't reliably expect all 4 targets to get hit every time. She's still strong, but this is a very meaningful nerf. Next, Zeratu. He was extremely strong too. He used to heal 10% HP when his turn ended. Now he only heals after attacking on his turn, meaning if he's stunned, he doesn't heal. Before, he could cycle turns and automatically heal, but not anymore. He's much easier to kill now, which is great. Next, Jonnam. He used to be meta years ago, then fell off. Now, his heal went from 20% to 30%. It's only plus 10%, but that's big. Small buffs like this can increase his pick rate, so keep an eye on him. Next, Bog9, the Destroy Specialist. I had high hopes because he fits well in tank teams. His damage against destroyed targets is increased even further. The more he destroys, the harder it becomes for the enemy. Personally, I wanted a damage reduction buff, but this still might make him fun to use. Next, Gurkha. Damage reduction from taunted targets went from 30% to 40%. He used to dominate with bump, then got nerfed, and now he's getting buffed again. 40% is huge. He might be able to solo teams again. I want to try him. Next, was Kugisaki. Her attack count went from 3 hits 2 for hits. Like Rika, that means for continuous damage stacks. This might be strong, worth watching. Next, like Kurisaki. I expected something since her pick rate was low. Her usable until next turn after being attacked, change to usable until you use the skill. So basically, it means you don't have to use it immediately. You can choose the timing instead. Not a big change though. Personally, I wanted something like self-threat if she isn't attacked, which would be more interesting. Next, Perna. His usage dropped, so I wanted something for him. Now he gains a 2-turn attack buff when he revives, like Vanessa. His post-revive burst damage will be insane in certain situations. I want to run for him. Next, Kumar. This is one I really wanted. His skill 1 Oblivion chance went from 50% to 75%. His skill 2 and 3 were already good, but skill 1 was weak, so this is perfect. Beast Monks also got cooltime reduction on skill 2, making them easier to use. I'll be testing Kumar for sure. Next, Theodora. Her pick rate was low, so now her damage scales with HP. If she can deal damage while tanky, she might fit into bruiser comps. Next, Titius, the anti-death ignore unit. He now gives a recovery buff when his allies goes to 1 HP plus endure. That's huge. Next, Eliphas. His AoE protection went from 1 turn to 2 turns. No other unit can give 2 turns of AoE protection that big. But he still can't protect himself, so he might get focused down. Some self-defense buff would be nice. Next, Hills. He had an interesting passive but wasn't used much. Now, Defense Break applies on all attacks, including counters. This makes him way easier to use. Next, Dark Beetle Guardian skill 3. It now steals attack bar. If it runs correctly, it combos into skill 2, making him more annoying. Not sure if he'll actually be used though. Next, Fire and Light Evo. Fire is 4 stars, so whatever, but Light Evo is the real one. He used to be meta, but after nerfs, he disappeared. Now he gets increased damage and branding. Branding is scary. It boosts his own damage and his team's burst potential. He might come back into the meta. Next, Toriton. Used sometimes in turn 1 mirrors. His attack bar reduction went from 35% to 50%. If you get hit by this, recovering is extremely hard. His pick rate might go up. Next, Wind Puppet Master Schmitzel. Her turn start buff removal went from 40% to 50%. If she strips, you get silence or attack bar reduced, so this 10% matters a lot. She may return to the meta. Next, Light Archangel Altamiel. This is a huge one. He used to counterattack when hit by a crit. Now he always crits on counterattacks, meaning he no longer needs crit rate. You can stack HP, defense, speed, resistance, everything else. If Altamiel starts moving freely, he becomes extremely dangerous. I expect his pick rate to increase. Next, Light Art Master. This buff is more for Arena, but he might show up in RTA too. Next, Light Weapon Master. Final strike damage plus 16%. He was nerfed before and disappeared, but this might bring him back. With the attack buff opener, his defense ignore hit is terrifying. Next, Light Nina. She is a 4-hit AoE unit, and her extra damage went from 10% to 25%. Might be good into turn 2 comps, but not sure if she'll be meta. Next, Dark Nina. Damage to locked-on targets went from 25% to 35%. 10% sounds small but is actually big. Next, Dark Totem. Her passive that ignores multi-hit damage after the second hit got buffed, and her healing changes will be interesting. She might turn dangerous when she survives burst. Other monsters don't affect RTA much, so I'll skip them. Next, leader skill changes. Wind Monkey leader skill changed from HP to speed. No idea why, but it's a buff. Beast monks are looking stronger in guild content. Shazam players in RTA might not like the change though. And that wraps up the November skill balance patch. Many top meta units got nerfed, but there were also some buffs I'm excited to use. I'll showcase them in future videos as well. What do you think about this balance patch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.